Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's edition of the Maconi Setup Shop A-Fix Tutorials. This week we're looking at the Legacy Texas Motor Speedway, the original OG, so strap in and let's get to it. As always, this run I did in 5th gear. I think the gearing is too close, either the gearing is too close or the track is just way more gripped up than I thought it would be for 4th gear to work. When I try shifting into 4th gear, it really slows you down quickly and a lot, and when you get back into the gas you're almost chipping way before you get to the exit of the corner. So I do think 5th gear is going to be where you want to be uh, for the majority of it. I don't know what traffic's going to be like. You may need 4th gear just because of traffic, and then if you find that you overdrive a corner, it might be a nice little emergency aid to help slow you down. It's easy to overdrive this corner. It's not as punishing, but not recommended. Um, the white line around here is your friend. I will say, and you'll see this later in the video too, um, in 1 and 2, I would not recommend running above the seam. Okay, so if you're getting passed on the inside and you got to go through 1 and 2, I would not get any higher than the seam. We all know how much this car does not like bumps. The middle and top lane in 1 and 2 is so bumpy that every single time that I've tried to go through there, uh, even backing it down, okay, it is like I just blow a right rear. I don't know how they do it. I can't imagine seeing very many people run up there. Maybe later in the run as the track rubbers in, maybe it might be possible to venture up there a little bit, but I would not recommend it. It's so bad. There's just no other way to describe it. 3 and 4, however, you can run all the way up to the wall. Okay, um, there's grip all over. I will say there is a bump in 3 and 4. To me, it helps rotate the car, but if you're over driving it, what I find is when you hit that bump, it's going to pivot the car. It's not like 1 and 2 where you hit it and you just blow a right rear. It will pivot the car, but if you're going way too fast still, that pivot then turns into a four-wheel drift about 100 yards later. Okay, um, as you can see, like this isn't exaggerated, you guys. Like this is once you get above that seam, it is so bumpy. And if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. Go run 1 lap in the middle or the top in 1 and 2, and you'll probably sit back and laugh at just how bad it is. Okay, right there in 3 and 4, there's that little bump that I was talking about. You could see how it helped to rotate the car. I think you guys are gonna be able to run from white line to wall in 3 and 4. I don't think it's going to happen in 1 and 2. You can see the difference there. I stayed below the seam. Yes, I crossed it a little bit, but for the most part, I was below that seam. And you can tell the difference. I was able to get in the throttle more and not give up my momentum down the back straightaway. Right there again, there's the rotation. You can see here how I almost got tight. Like that was borderline of carrying too much speed. Okay, that's what I was trying to talk about. If you hit that bump, if you're still going way too fast, it doesn't take long before you still slide up into the wall. The other thing, the big thing about turn 1 that I want to make a point of, this is a tip that I learned years and years ago racing here. It's been my bread and butter for a long time. Best way to save tires and still be fast. You'll notice through 1 and 2, and I'll point it on the in-car, and I'll try to do it at speed here so I don't slow the video down. We're going to use the mouse here, okay? There's a seam that pops out right here, okay? If you can run that over with your left front, I'm not saying you have to be holding the white line at that point, but if you feel like you're running that over with your left front, you have had a really good 1 and 2, okay? The white line is your friend around here. I would recommend running the bottom for as long as you can. Okay, that's going to be the best way to save tire, and it's still pretty fast. Like this racetrack's got a lot of grip with this weather configuration. Okay, and again, you can go back throughout the run right there. That's about as good as 1 and 2 gets. Okay, my lap 10 here in 3 and 4, I kind of overdrove it a little bit. Not the best lap 10, but again, with these videos, you guys can always go back and watch previous laps and see how I'm getting around. You can see some of the faster laps, the lines that I'm running around there. Okay, um, going through 1 and 2, Again, I don't use very many visuals, but once I get parallel to the wall here, okay, we're parallel. This is where I get my arc for the corner. Okay, this is a nice arc. This is pretty much how you want to get through 1 and 2. 3 and 4, it's different. I try to gauge it where the dotted lines end on the back straightaway. All right. This car doesn't make anywhere near the speed that it used to, or that we used to have racing around here. It wasn't uncommon to hit 200 miles an hour going off into either turn 1 or turn 3 back when we had the Gen 6. So visuals change a little bit, but for the most part, a nice arc in both ends. If you're going to run the bottom, you have to get down to the white line. It is important. Otherwise, what you're going to do, you're going to have a lot more wheel input to try to keep it down, and then you're going to burn your right front off. Okay? So very important to get to the white line. Okay, guys, real quick, another thing here. If you miss the entry a little bit, it's not the end of the world. The biggest thing is that you want to get down to the white line before you exit the corner. Okay, I talked about that little seam where it comes out in 1 and 2. If you can mentally visualize that same thing in 3 and 4, okay, my lap 10 before I slowed it down here, I missed the entry to the corner. It was not a good entry, but you saw how I was able to bring it back down and get down to that white line. Okay, it's the same thing. As long as you can run this over or feel like you're running this over right here, again, your left front doesn't have to be on the white line as you're getting to that point. You just have to feel like your left front is catching that seam. Okay, it's the same thing in 3 and 4. If you can do that, you're going to have a lot of success. Don't make it a habit of overdriving the entry. Okay, it's not good. It's just not as punishing as other places. Okay, but that's the visual that you want to have when running the bottom here. And like I said, 3 and 4, I think you're going to be white line to wall, which is awesome. That's kind of how this place used to be. When we had dynamic track, it was rare to get to the wall in 1 and 2, but depending on your setup, you could do it. You just needed like 40 laps on your tires to make it work. I really cannot see anybody venturing up that high. Like I said, I wouldn't get any higher than the seam in 1 and 2. If you don't believe me, I dare you to try it for yourself. It is quite hilarious. The car, it's like the rear tires just explode. No joke. Okay, guys, that'll just about do it for this week's video. As always, if you find that this video was helpful, please consider leaving a like. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you want to discuss, feel free to leave a comment down below. And last but not least, as always, if you are not already a subscriber, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can see these videos every Monday when they're posted on the Maconi YouTube page. Okay, guys, best of luck this week, and we'll see you on the track.